Good morning, Patriot family.
Pull the trigger.
I know, right? There's no countdown. David, you got to give us a countdown. No, it's fine.
It's fine. We are so grateful to join you guys today. We want to let you know we are live on location. So please have some grace when it comes to sound and video. We are operating on a traveling system today. We are where, Allie?
We are in Tallahassee at the Florida State Capitol. And we are going to be doing what we do, civic engagement. We're going to be meeting with legislators. We're going to be sitting in a few committee meetings and hearings, as well as doing some interviews with just the people around and with some of our legislators as well. So here at Open Mic, we don't just talk about it. We actually do the work to get, we move the needle, both nationally and statewide. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we like Allie says, we don't just give the calls to actions. We actually are the calls to actions. Yesterday, we were at a school board meeting in Florida where you would think, free state of Florida is amazing, but they obviously had issues with a mask mandate a couple of years ago. And right now, there's one school board member has an issue with ICE.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
Crazy, but we go to the meetings, we show up, we're here, we're showing up. And you can see there's a lot of action in the background. FSU is having, Florida State University is having FSU days here. So you'll see a lot of college kids probably behind us. Looks like we're looking good on all platforms. Maybe need some help on Facebook. So hold tight if you're on all the other platforms. Guys, we heard yesterday that there was an issue with Air Force One.
Yeah, well, let's just open the mic first and then we'll get started.
Yeah.
Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, he gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor of Maggieville, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
What do you do when they come for you? Freedom's what you gotta lose. Red hat stays on. Red hat
All right, welcome here to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. If you're not already, make sure you're following us at Michelle Posey, at Real Allie Leger, and at Open Mic Ladies on all platforms. We're at the Tallahassee, in Tallahassee, Florida, at the Florida Capitol, having some fun. Okay, now,
Absolutely. Yeah.
can we talk about the fact that I don't like it when President Trump's on Air Force One and then they're like, there's an issue, we got to turn around.
No, I know. I think it makes everybody a little uneasy, to be honest with you.
Very uneasy. Nick Sorter posted that they officially touched back down in DC after Air Force One had to pull a quick U-turn over the Atlantic Ocean due to a quote electrical issue. President Trump is safe tonight. The plane offloaded soon. 47 will be on his way in another plane. So Allie and I were talking, and I'm like, so is there just like a backup Air Force One?
Maybe they're possibly, or they just fix the issue, or put them on a different unmarked plane. I don't know.
Different mark.
That's above our pay grade. So we have, and our influence apparently. I don't know.
I don't know, but it's anyway. He's safe in Davos now. He's actually he's speaking right now at Davos.
Yeah.
But very scary situation in the sense that I think we forget how close we were to losing President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. I remember the weeks after that, everybody was talking about how this rhetoric on the left needs to die down.
It hasn't much.
It's escalated now onto ICE officials, and other people. You look what took place months later with Charlie Kirk. So we take it very serious, but yeah.
And we just want to make sure that we back the blue. I mean, we got here at the Capitol and we handed out, we brought some donuts from Dunkin' Donuts and gave them just a little small appreciation, because we know that a lot of people are hating on them. And so we just wanted to show our love for our law enforcement officers. They work very hard and very tirelessly. They leave their families home. They don't know if they're going to come home. So, just show your appreciation in any way you can.
Yeah, we love you, all those first responders, really. So the White House had this really cool video that I want to show you guys. It's a little long. Normally we don't do a couple minutes of video, but it's worth it. It's a feel good let's start off the day and start off the show with a feel good before we rip everything to
Yeah,
shreds.
she like scared everybody with their first one. It's fine.
So go ahead, turn your TV up. You're going to want to watch this. Take a look at this video from the White House.
Sometimes in history, there's this magic moment. Somebody appears on the scene and everything changes.
I am with you.
We've never seen anything like this.
I will fight for you,
This was a man who's met his destiny.
and I will win for you.
He said he was saved by God in order to make America great again.
His victory was the greatest comeback of all time.
You're watching history, so buckle up.
I don't think the American people have ever seen this before. A government that has moved this quickly and a president that has done so much when it comes to the border and energy and major investments from other countries. It's like warp speed.
47's on a hot streak, bringing head-snapping change to Washington, overwhelming the system with a volcanic eruption of action. Trump has a mandate from the people, and he's using it, and they're just getting started.
President Trump said on the campaign trail, success will be my retribution.
Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free. We're going to have one shot at this, and no other president's going to do what I'm doing.
America's back, common sense is back. He is keeping his promise to you, the American people.
Inflation is down, growth is up.
The numbers don't lie. The economy is soaring.
Lowest gas prices in 4 years.
And record tariff revenue.
The USA is on a roll, culminating in the signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill on July 4th.
The Trump economic golden age is full steam ahead. America is back thanks to the courage of President Trump, thanks to the leadership of his amazing cabinet, and thanks, of course, to our brave men and women in the United States military.
This is a message to the rest of the world. The days of ripping off America and Americans are officially over.
Between the attacks on Iran's nuke site and the Maduro operation, the U.S. military recruitment at an all-time high.
This president will go down in history as a peacemaking president.
Peace through strength, America's in charge.
And he's just got one filter, and that is America first.
Whatever they're doing, it's working. Zero illegal crossings, drug cartels frustrated, less crimes.
We have the most secure border in the history of this nation. If you think we're doing good now, you just wait till this coming year.
The president isn't taking his foot off the gas in 2026.
It's a new year. The stock markets are already making new record highs.
The Trump archive are a series of near impossible feats.
As for the next year, the American people have so much to look forward to. The president will continue to build off of his historic accomplishments.
2025 was setting the table, but the banquet's going to be in 2026.
This is the golden age coming.
He says, make America great again because every American is invited.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future because the golden age of America has only just begun.
Oh my God. How amazing is that video? What?
I mean,
Guys.
if you're not almost teared up there, like, I don't know, just winning, right?
No, seriously. I mean, we are 366 days into the Trump administration 2.0, and we are so excited with all the wins that we're seeing. I mean, I don't think the country has ever been in a better state as far as financially, as far as on the national scale, as far as national security goes, our border security goes, our food security goes. I mean, all of the things. I love that yesterday they handed out a pamphlet for the press pool that literally had 365 wins of the President Trump's first year.
Let's see how many of them report on it.
It was amazing. One of them said that they took away the crackheads. Like I think he said crackhead Joe Biden's son Hunter Biden's security, which was really it was funny. I like the way that they that they frame things. It's quite hilarious.
It's pretty amazing. Well, and the wins do keep continuing. As we said, Donald Trump right now speaking in Davos, Switzerland, which a lot of people tried to paint his trip there as, wait a minute, you know,
He's
you're
part of the
climbing in
globalists.
bed
No,
the World
no,
Economic
no.
Forum and the World Health Organization. No,
That's not
Klaus
that.
Schwab does not want to see that man roll into
Nope.
Davos, and he brought with him the dream team. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But I know Donald Trump.
I also do want to say though that
Sure.
there aren't, while we are seeing very significant wins, right? A lot of them have been only through executive order. Now, what we're currently seeing is obstruction through inaction with our Congress. And it's not necessarily the House of Representatives, although there are some bills that the Speaker of the House, which is Speaker Mike Johnson, who has not put any to the floor for a vote. He hasn't brought specific ones to the floor for a vote. One of them off the top of my head would be birthright citizenship that we know has been sitting collecting dust for, I don't know, the last 9 months. But it's really the Senate. The Senate has really been the crux of this issue. Just, I believe yesterday, someone, I believe her name is Sadie from North Carolina. She says, we just lost another conservative appointee. Lindsey Halligan is out as U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia because the Senate never confirmed her. Guys, this is a problem. This is unacceptable, right? Inaction is at this point obstruction, and the Senate, guys, the Senate was not created to be a bottleneck for convenience or political conviction or calculation, or to indefinitely stall bills that are, you know, nationally concerns.
You know, when you look at the forming of our country, the reason why we have two different bodies of government in the legislative branch, the House and the Senate, is because our founders did not want to make us look like Parliament, but they wanted to make sure that all states had equal representation. That's the Senate. The Senate is your equalizer. It's the one that says every state gets the same amount of representation, not like the House of Representatives. So again, it's what's supposed to make us a level playing field, so to speak, but it's not when you grind everything to a halt. One of the wins I want to talk about, we got word from libs of TikTok that multiple Minnesota officials have been served by the FBI for a grand jury subpoena. You'll take a look at a couple of them. We've got Governor Tim Walz of obviously Minnesota, Attorney General Keith Ellison, the Minneapolis, St. Paul Mayor, Keola Herr. You've got Ramsey County Attorney General John Choi, and of course Hennepin County, nothing to see there with voting, Mary Moriarty. So we're hoping, again, that subpoena is being issued. But how does that help us if we're losing people that Trump wants to appoint as U.S. district attorneys?
Or we're not codifying his executive orders. You know, Open Mic has been talking about, and the Hollow Alliance, which is our nonprofit, we've been talking about this, NC4, we've been talking about the SAVE Act for several months now, and it's finally picking up steam through social media, which is amazing. Apparently, a lot of our elected representatives are terrified of X, which is great. So we utilize that platform in order to push our, to apply our political pressure. And now everyone is talking about passing the SAVE Act. And there's 3 people that we need to contact. And it's it's Senate Leader John Thune. It is Majority Whip John Barrasso and Chuck Grassley. Those are the 3 gentlemen that currently serve in our Senate who have put a stop loss on the SAVE Act. Guys, the SAVE Act is to protect our elections. Not only does it require citizenship, they're asking Senator Mike Lee is asking for them to add on a photo ID as well, but also it protects the ballot, right? And it removes the machines and puts it back on paper ballots and takes these photos of them. It is very important that we do this.
Which we will also bring up a little bit later too, because you're going to see what some states across the United States are doing, actually the opposite of what the SAVE Act is supposed to do. So are you going to see a showdown between state and federal? Continuing on to Minnesota, guys, the Department of Human Services in Minnesota has come out and said that they've given over 724 million to NGOs whose names are protected. So you're trying to do like a FOIA request to figure out, hey, where are my tax dollars going? These NGOs are masked to protect, not public data, is what they're saying. This is in Minnesota. And I know in Florida, you can't get away with this, but I don't know what Minnesota law is as far as this goes, but you should have access to every expenditure that comes out through your government, especially through an NGO. So this is just further cover up that I think we're showing. Thank you to Nick Shirley for Nick Sword is why you see the FBI coming out and issuing subpoenas, grand jury subpoenas for a lot of those people in Minnesota. You guys saw what took place in that church in Minnesota where you had protesters basically barge into a church to continue the anti-ICE rhetoric. Don Lemon was there. And
apparently was briefed about it beforehand and still decided to go in and do it. And so there's been calls for his arrest and detention from several big accounts on social media. And so Harmeet Dillon, she's like, we're on it. Trust me, we're working on it. Pam Bondi is actually boots on ground in Minnesota right now. So I'm interested to see what comes out of that. I mean, as we've currently seen, there are people being subpoenaed. So it's just keep your eyes on what's going on in Minnesota. There's a lot of things that are happening.
We do have some video proof that says they're getting, this is what he says. Now, you can take him at his word. But our audio is I'm told on the road, so keep it locked here. But he says in this video they're getting this
They're getting the operation together. Again, this is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. There are for this reason, it may look like MAGA coded, but there's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as they said, white allies here. So that is what I could say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. But there we go. Everybody's ready to go. Let's go. Okay. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here.
Okay,
thank you guys.
Okay.
How are you?
Good
to see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
So
this is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show on Friday.
Levy Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now. We've had a lot of success with the times we have done Operation Pull Up.
Yeah.
After George Floyd was killed, we went to the Police Federation head's home and staged a demonstration there. We also went to the head of the U.S. Marshals from Minnesota after Winston Smith was killed by the U.S. Marshals. We went there after Dante Wright was killed when AG Keith Ellison.
Okay, Operation Pull Up. Not diapers.
Takara Thompson. Where was this operation by an illegal alien who crossed our border and ended up getting some kind of asylum here in America?
They just said that it's the same people.
It's disgusting.
It's the same people that organized after George Floyd, that gave you the Summer of Love, that burnt down Minneapolis and other metropolitan cities. A lot of Black communities, a lot of minority communities, that their businesses burned. It is the same organizers. This is interesting. This is Nakima Levy Armstrong. So what they're saying is there's Don Lemon behind the scenes basically telling you that this is highly organized, Allie. I'm looking to see what Harmeet Dillon maybe will do, and Attorney General Pam Bondi. I know you said they're on it. And that's
Yeah,
exciting.
I'm really interested to see what happens with this. I think we should be hopeful, right? We're seeing some things
Cautious but hopeful.
going on.
Absolutely.
Trust but verify. We'll see when it happens. I know there's a lot of MAGA folks out there, and we're just like, okay, listen, we'll believe it when we see it. I think we're gonna see it.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
do.
Guys, if we haven't, if you're joining us just now, we are live from Tallahassee, the capital here in the state of Florida. Allie and I are meeting with legislators and trying to bring to you what happens during legislative days in your local state, right here in Florida,
We
especially.
encourage all of you to do the same thing,
Yeah.
guys. It doesn't really cost you much but your time and maybe a little bit of travel. You can go and pop up your little tripod and have a conversation with your legislators and talk about bills that you have. Like, do the work, you guys. It's going to take all of us. This is not something that is we can only rely on our elected representatives. It requires all of us to participate.
Absolutely. So give us some grace. I know that sometimes the video is lagging a bit, but we're told we have good audio. So guys, we always talk about accountability and really, people seeing some kind of accountability. Representative James Comer posted this. This is a long post, but I feel it's worthwhile delivering to you. I haven't heard this on Clintons. So facing contempt for the Clintons made an untenable offer that this was their offer, the Clinton attorneys, that Rep. Comer traveled to New York for a conversation with President Clinton only, so not Hillary. No official transcript would be allowed to be recorded, and other members of Congress would be barred from participating. Obviously, Comer says he rejected the Clintons' ridiculous offer. What is this? We're not playing these games. They were subpoenaed to come in and testify. We obviously saw under the Trump administration, Peter Navarro and Bannon were both arrested for not abiding by this. So I don't understand how you think that this representative is going to come out and visit you on their own dime. No transcription. That's not being transparent to the people. What do you have to hide?
Exactly. And no one is above the law. And if we really are a country of law and order, right, then we need to make sure that we are wielding our power that has been granted to us by the consent of the governed and actually participate properly.
Well, and I love how a lot of people have also brought into question, President Clinton has had a history of lying under oath. Monica Lewinsky much?
No, what are they going to do about it?
For it. So, this is why the transcription of it, look, we're not going to meet for coffee and tea. Like, that's not what this is. It's not a sit down because I want you to sign my book. It is, you've done something wrong. We want the potential to be able to investigate it. You're supposed to cooperate. Now, do you think if you and I were given a subpoena to appear in court and we just blew it off?
The luxury of blowing it off.
Two-tier justice system. Two-tier justice system.
Isn't it? And it only comes from the other side that says that there's no one above the law and you have to abide by law enforcement, but not if you're ramming your car in front of an ICE agent or you're obstructing federal agents doing their job, or you decide not to show up when you're subpoenaed. I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, and as we brought up yesterday at our local school board meeting, I want you guys to check your local schools and their driver's ed tests and their driver's ed classes. And I am betting you that there is some kind of a training on how to stop at intersections, how to obey traffic signs. We would never teach our children as they're learning to drive that it's okay to put their car facing an officer who's asking them to stop and gun it towards them. I mean, that's just gun it. Yeah. We all understand law until it comes time to obey it. So, Allie, I want to pivot a little bit. As we said, we're here at our Florida state capitol. Florida is a very, very red state. We love our legislators. We love our governor. We have a trifecta of conservatism, obviously, with the House.
But again, just like we have at the top.
Well, and so, as I was saying, we even though we love that, you would not believe some of what we're fighting, even in election law. And I don't know sometimes where these drafts come from of bills. I don't know if they're not aware of some of the fallout that could come from the verbiage in some of the bills. Maybe they are. But Virginia, and I love this, Elon Musk reshared this. This is how important it is. Virginia, 48 hours, they've already in session, they've already introduced a bill that would ban the hand counting of election ballots. Basically, it says it prohibits such ballots from being counted by hand for any reason. So this is Virginia taking the step. Of course, they lost the governorship now to a Democrat. So watch
Who
how
is
this
now
is go.
overturning and releasing rapists and murderers and making those as minimal served sentences as possible. This is ridiculous, though. Like this is, but I think this is what we're going to come up against in 2026.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of the Democrat-run states are going to put their foot down and say, you know, local control. The local control does not exempt you from the law, which is why it is so important. If you are going to participate in our federal elections, it needs to be even across the board, and every state needs to follow suit.
Yeah.
Which is why it is so important that we get the SAVE Act passed, you guys. Apply your political pressure, call them, email them as many times a day as you possibly can.
Yeah. And the reason I brought up Florida is we have a bill that we're looking forward to talking to legislators about, House Bill 991, which in Florida largely does the same thing.
Right.
It does away with hand counting of ballots.
Why?
It actually increases more machines. It alters the way you're allowed to FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, to be able to get some of the information that's supposed to be public knowledge. So we like to go in and kind of provide it as a, hey, did you know this is in there? Was this the intent? And if not, especially during committee hearings, how can we remove this or alter the language so we don't have collateral damage? You guys need to be checking your state legislature as well.
You can go to your capital and speak at these committee hearings while they are presenting these bills. You don't have to be a group leader. You don't have to belong to a group. You can just be a regular citizen.
And I would
you
say,
come to your capital.
Yeah, if you guys want to reach out to Allie and I, contact@openmicladies.com. Put in the subject line or, you know, when you send your message, let us know that you want to know how to engage with your local elected representatives. We'll be happy to give you a heads up. But listen, this is why we're monitoring what's happening with elections so terribly closely. Trump gave a little bit of a warning. We've been saying this literally since October of last year. A big I told you so. 2020 election tampering. This is Trump dishing the dirt. Take a look.
Spoke earlier, Mr. President. You've been hearing from allies.
Thank you. Thank you so much, President Trump. Kara Castanova from Lindell TV. And you spoke earlier about the 2020 election. Now that Maduro is in U.S. custody and he was criminally charged, has any more information emerged that you could share with us regarding Venezuelan election software and Venezuelan ties to tampering with the 2020 election? And would you consider speaking to Maduro personally in prison in New York to get some answers on Venezuela's involvement with the 2020 election?
No, I don't think I would be doing that. I think my lawyers would be very unhappy if I did. Yeah, they've learned some things. Please.
What happens to the tariff threat to Greenland if the Supreme Court comes out and rules against you on the tariffs? And
so he says they've come up with some stuff. We've already told you that there have been whistleblowers from within the Venezuelan regime that have talked. They've been talking for a couple of years, and largely a lot of them are here in Florida.
And I like that. If you caught that at the end, he said our lawyers have learned some things, and their lawyers have learned some things.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I can't wait to see what comes out about it.
And really, we've seen Smartmatic and Dominion. Both of those names, Smartmatic and Dominion, we were told we could not say on air. The reason we're allowed to say it now is because they've basically been torn apart and sold for parts. Like a lemon car, but they're no longer in action. But they have other companies. I know our supervisor of elections said that we use in our county a company out of Oklahoma. You need to be researching, where do your election machines come? I don't know if we're going to get anything through, but in time for the 2026 election, I hope we are.
It's crazy because it's not like we didn't know about this.
Right? What? 6 years,
guys. This is my saying.
Yeah.
Piss poor planning leads to piss poor leadership. Right. Proper planning saves lives. Proper planning saves elections. Proper planning saves our nation. I don't understand why we are not, as legislators, right? I'm not a legislator, but maybe I freaking should be, because I don't know what is happening and why there is such a slow walk for a lot of these things that are concerning for the populace.
Yes.
Everywhere in every state, conservatives are concerned about our elections. Why it's being slow walked in all of our red states that have these trifectas, why it's being slow walked on the national level, we don't know. Well, we can speculate, right?
Yes.
But we don't know for sure.
And
it's absolutely insane.
And largely, guys, that's why we're here. That's why we came to Tallahassee in this frigid, cold weather.
Yes.
We wanted to show the example that you guys can do it too. For Alaska. Yep. Check on your Florida friends. We are not okay. But you guys are going to want to keep it here for more open mic. We're going to have coming up in the second half talking about Davos and what's taking place there with the dream team that Trump has sent with to Davos. We are witnessing, earlier we witnessed, I feel like in Trump's first administration, sort of the death of mainstream media. I believe during the second administration, we're going to see the death of globalism.
Yes.
Because MAGA is not just America anymore. It's putting the world on notice that we're back. We're Super Bowl champs. We're not dethroning ourselves ever again. So guys, take a quick break here. We'll be right back with more Open Mic after this message.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order.
We're dancing just to keep warm.
Oh my gosh.
Because security in the doors right here. And so every time they open the door, it's like,
Okay, so I do want to say this though. Throughout the year, Liberty Cigars will be unveiling their America 250 series, beginning with the Siege of Boston and ending with the Battle of Trenton at Christmas time. Stay tuned for their spectacular July 4th release. And check out their journal. If you follow them on Instagram or X, on their social media, they are posting their journal every day. It's literally every day until America 250, all the way down to Christmas time. And you can always use promo code OpenMic to save 10% off your order. Guys, this is going to be amazing. They are made right here in America, put together in America. Their boxes are handmade. His wife, John Adams and Elizabeth Adams, which is, just crazy. This is both like founders' names. It's insane.
That's amazing. That was
she draws and recreates
the artist,
the artistry of these cigars. And it's just absolutely amazing. They taste great. They're amazing.
Amazing. Guys, let's pivot to Davos, where we know Trump was actually speaking just a bit ago at in Davos, Switzerland. The World Economic Forum co-chair, who also happens to be the BlackRock CEO. I'm sure there's nothing to hide there. His name is Larry Fink. He's finally openly acknowledged, really, that global elites have lost public trust. You think so? You weren't trustworthy to begin with, but I like the fact that he's having to come out and say it. Let's take a listen.
We believe that outside the United Nations, this is the largest gathering of global leadership of the post-COVID period of time. For many people, this meeting feels out of step with the moment. We hear all about the elites. And how does that play out in an age of populism? How does an established institution make a difference in an era of deep institutional mistrust? And there's some truth to the critique. I believe in this forum for a long time. I certainly wouldn't be leading this if I didn't believe that we can change and make the world better. But it's also obvious that the world now places far less trust in us to help shape what comes next. If the World Economic Forum is going to be useful going forward, it has to regain that trust.
Not going to happen.
No. They don't trust you as far as we can see.
It's like a bad breakup.
So we're not doing
We're
this.
good. We can lose the number. What did they think was going to happen? What did they think was going to happen through what they attempted through COVID, through, health mandates, trying to get you to have a passport to travel with, not see papers much? It is really awful.
See, that is the only time that is acceptable, right? When you are calling people that are standing for law enforcement and and the removal of people that have been here illegally and have committed the crime of crossing our border, coming into our home without our permission. That is literally what that is equivalent to. And you're calling us Nazis. You have no idea of what history
you have no
actually is. Like, that is wild. Showing proof of citizenship to make sure you are eligible to vote in our elections
is not a big
it's
lift.
not the same thing.
It is not.
As showing your ethnicity so that you can get hauled off and you know, and killed.
And there's more coming from Davos, because as I said, Trump didn't just bring himself and a bestie. He brought an entire team. You're going to hear from Secretary Lutnick. He's at the World Economic Forum, and he's making the point for the Trump administration. This is what I love that Trump does. He's not expected to be a master of all things. He brings people on board who are masters of they're the ones that rise to the top in their field. So take a listen to Secretary Lutnick as he's talking and addressing the World Economic Forum.
Well, I think you should start at a much higher level. Okay. We are in Davos at the World Economic Forum. And the Trump administration and myself, we are here to make a very clear point. Globalization has failed the West and the United States of America. It's a failed policy. It is what the WEF has stood for, which is export, offshore, far shore, find the cheapest labor in the world, and the world is a better place for it. The fact is, it has left America behind. It has left the American workers behind. And what we are here to say is that America First is a different model, one that we encourage other countries to consider, which is that our workers come first. We can have policies that impact our workers. Sovereignty is your borders. You're entitled to have borders. You shouldn't offshore your medicine. You shouldn't offshore your semiconductors. You shouldn't offshore your entire industrial base and have it be hollowed out beneath you. You should not be dependent for that which is fundamental to your sovereignty on any other nation. And if you're going to be dependent on someone, it darn well better be your best allies. Okay? And so that is a different way of thinking. It is completely different than the WEF. I viewed the WEF as not a flagpole in the middle, but in fact, they are the flag. Whichever way the wind blew, so it blew. You should have solar, you should have wind. Why are you going to do solar and wind? Why would Europe agree to be net zero in 2030 when they don't make a battery? They don't make a battery. So if they go 2030, they are deciding to be subservient to China, who makes the batteries.
100%. Oh my gosh, the amount of truth.
If I had a microphone to drop, I would drop it.
That was lovely. That was fantastic.
And, okay, did you see the room that he's in is largely not a friendly room to do that. This is the wave of leadership going forward. You've got somebody to his right that's sitting there like this. I can't believe I had to listen to this.
Saying that.
But he literally sits up taller and stronger and doubles down on what he's saying because it's right. It's what he believes in. If you're not that kind of leader going forward, I think we're seeing throughout America, that's what we expect from leadership.
Thrive. Countries thrive under sovereignty. When the individual is sovereign and when the country is sovereign and not dependent on others around the world. It has to be a reciprocal relationship. And that is exactly what President Trump embodies in his business and exactly what he has brought to the White House. And that is what is just making everyone so excited that he is currently our president. I mean, you can see that with the deals that he's made across the world.
Absolutely.
It is absolutely fantastic.
It's almost what happens when you put somebody who's authored the Art of the Deal in the biggest, most powerful office across the globe. It's kind of exciting. Scott Bessent, who is the Secretary of Treasury, he is also in Davos. Hey, that might matter to bring somebody that's the head of your finances in your country there. He speaks here for a moment. He's talking about a meeting that he had with Chinese counterpart. Take a look.
I had a meeting with my Chinese counterpart here in Davos last night, Vice Premier Hu Feng. He told me that just this week they have completed their soybean purchases, and we're looking forward to next year's 25 million tons. I suggested maybe he'd want to buy a little more because President Trump always brings that up with Party Chair Xi when they speak. And they've done everything that they said they're going to do.
Love it.
He's talking about them purchasing items from the United States that's already been agreed upon. And he's like, I know we said this much, but I think you should purchase more just because, you want to get on Trump's good side.
Right. No, for sure. We don't want the soybeans. They're terrible for your gut. I'm just saying. It's not MAHA compliant.
I mean, and we were just talking this morning. We were just talking this morning about cereal over breakfast.
Yeah, no.
And how, like, if you think about it, like all those grains and breads were on the bottom of the pyramid. And so, then you flip that on its head. It's like they always knew that we really should have had better diets. But that's not all Treasury Secretary Bessent had to say. He's talking about, hey guys, would you like to be able to buy your first home? Or as an American family that's working hard, probably working 2 jobs, would you like to be able to see home ownership happen again? Well, if we get these global buyers out of our housing market and let families be able to actually compete for those homes and those mortgages, probably have a better chance. This is Scott Bessent talking about just that.
The ban on institutional investors in single-family homes, for those of you who are not American, in the U.S., pre-Great Financial Crisis, institutional investors did not participate in the single-family market. So post the financial crisis, institutional investors hoovered up single-family homes. They continue to do it, and there's an unfair tax arbitrage there. You and I have a mortgage. We can deduct the mortgage amount. Institutional investors can deduct the borrowing amount, but they can also expense any repairs and depreciation. So we think that it is a good idea to have them out of the market. We are going to give guidance at some point to see what is a mom and pop. Someone, maybe your parents for their retirement, have bought 5, 10, 12 homes. So we don't want to push the mom and pops out. We just want to push everyone else out. And what's important here, you will hear some misinformation that says, well, institutional investors are 1%, 2%, 3%. That is true. Having been in markets for 35 or 40 years, markets are made on the margin, and institutional investors are much higher in boomtown markets like Charlotte, like Atlanta, like Huntsville, Alabama. So they've done that. In terms of having Fannie and Freddie buy MBS,
he goes on to talk about Fannie and Freddie Mac. So he says we will have them out of the market. So America First means letting Americans be able to be the first ones to compete in this housing market. And I think as we start to see, the interest rates have come down a little bit. Trump is still fighting that. But as we continue to see that, hopefully our young people and our first-time home buyers will get a chance to get back in and compete for that.
Well, and you'll see a lot of that happening as well when we get rid of all of the illegals that are currently here and taking up all of the housing through the fraud that has been taking place, not just through SNAP, but also through HUD, so which is the housing and underdevelopment.
Or in urban development.
Urban development.
And you have to think, how ballsy is it to come into our country, run a racketeering scam that steals your money, your hard-earned money, and then uses that money to prop other people up as your next door neighbor buying their house while you're trying to rent.
And then your Democrat mayors and legislators and governors and congressmen, they want to keep them in the state to completely defraud you. Make that make sense.
Make that make sense. A lot of commotion, a lot happening. Guys, we are here live from Tallahassee, the state capitol here in Florida. We're like, hi, I see you. How are you? I want to run this video. Allie, are you ready? Buckle up.
Yeah, ready.
The Department of War just dropped this insane video as we're 1 year in to the Trump administration. So exciting. Take a look.
Good morning and welcome to the War Department.
Break down! If you attack the United States of America, we will crush you without mercy. That's why we named the former Department of Defense the Department of War. 7 American B-2 bombers dropped the 14 30,000-pound each bombs on Iran's key nuclear facility.
Nicolas Maduro had his chance. He effed around, and he found out.
Blessed with the strongest and most powerful military in the history of the world.
This is America First. This is peace through strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver. Welcome to 2026. And under President Trump, America is back.
We're back, baby.
Okay, and this is why there are 3 people that are currently pregnant in the administration. I've just said freedom is sexy.
Here. What did you say? Say it again.
Freedom is sexy. That's all I'm saying.
That's not what you called it in the car.
It's not, but it is. I don't remember when I said in the car.
So who's the newest one that's pregnant?
So we have the first lady, the second lady, wishing it on Melania. How amazing would that be? If she came out and said she was
pregnant, Trump baby would be
oh my gosh, that would be great. It would be so amazing if that were to happen. I think everybody.
Melania somewhere going.
She's like, no, don't wish that on me. She's like, my baby is old enough. He's 18. No, we have a second lady and our vice president, Vance. They are expecting their 4th child. We also have Caroline Leavitt, who is pregnant, gestating, and we also have Pete Hegseth and his wife are about to have twins. So the administration is just, I mean, they are
freedom is sexy, and it's
the most pro-life administration, I feel like, and most pro-family, I feel like.
I'm just gonna say, and we can say this because it's you know, we're 2 females, we're the party that knows what women are, and so we can say this, but I almost feel like when you see these men that, you know, and they're all different types, right?
Yeah.
Like all different ages, some are more forceful than others, some are just like a stronger lead from behind kind of thing. But when you see men step up in that role, just that masculine role that the left and feminism has tried to say is toxic. I think about Camden Bettinghouse's book, you know, toxic, fearless masculinity. You know, saying it's not toxic, it's actually extremely attractive. And there you can see it because the Trump administration is going to be popping out babies like you can't believe it. I have a question, guys. Do you think with all the talk going on in Greenland about, you know, the Monroe Doctrine, that maybe because it's on this side of the hemisphere, it might be in our best interest to have a stake in Greenland? Do you think Greenland's offended, or do you think they're more MAGA?
I think they're MAGA.
Let's take a look.
If you could say anything to Donald Trump, what would you tell him?
God bless you. You are so strong, and we love you so much.
Donald Trump.
Do you want to be part of America? Yeah. You do.
You do.
You do.
You do.
Also, what do you think?
I have a feeling this guy does too. Do you want Donald Trump to buy Greenland?
Yes. Donald Trump have Greenland. More protection, more life, more. So beautiful land.
God bless you, and you are great.
Your guys' message for President Trump.
President Trump, he is the greatest on earth. Of course. But not to.
You want America to buy Greenland? And what do you think is going to get better in Greenland if Trump buys the country?
Education system and health care systems.
So you're not a fan of what Denmark has in place for you guys right now?
Denmark, they don't take care of us.
Do you think you would be better off associated with the U.S. rather than Denmark?
Do we need to make Greenland great again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See you soon, Donald.
I'm even colder seeing that snow.
I know, but like, who wouldn't want to go see Greenland? I would love to go see Greenland.
I would.
If it's, you know, make Greenland great again and they're welcoming, why not? But did you hear that? No, seriously, on a serious note, they're like more protection, right? Because China obviously is going after, and so is Russia. Russia's going after Greenland. So America's like, not on our hemisphere. You guys are a part of it. Like,
part of the Monroe Doctrine.
Right.
Monroe Doctrine inherited in that is now the Donroe Doctrine.
The Donroe Doctrine.
You sent me
I
this
love it.
the other day. This is a
this happened yesterday, last night, I think it was.
Yeah, it's the 1 year inauguration gala that took place. I love how I just you've got Representative Anna Paulina Luna from right here in Florida. Take a look.
Is this like prom?
Beautiful American flag, Greenland.
All right.
51st state.
Here we go. All right, three. Tell me when to cut.
Got it on it. All right.
Ready?
Y'all and I's ready?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, start filming.
We cut it.
Perfect.
I used to South Greenland. I'm from South Greenland. Right.
South Green. We're good. There you go. George,
Jürgen is from Greenland. We met him at international event.
Love it.
And we will be there for all the free people in the world.
Perfect.
Aw.
Love it.
So that's not like at first when I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's a cake like shaped like the number 1 for the first year of, no,
It
the shape
was
of
Greenland.
Greenland. It took me to the end of, shut up. It took me to the end of the video. I was like, oh, it's Greenland.
Oh my gosh. I do want to say that we do have a comment from Kenneth Lewis Massey. He watches our show. He's at Mr. Massey. Love him. He's awesome. He says, I'm excited for the show at Real Ali Leger and at Michelle Posey. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you as well. Thank you so much for being a continuous supporter of us.
And for chiming in. We do appreciate your comments. We've had suggestions. We've had good comments and bad. And I trust me, we can take it. We've got broad shoulders. Did you see, it's not just here in Florida where we're feeling sort of this cold front. Apparently, and this terrifies me because I have a loved one flying in over the weekend, but apparently there's a cold front, like a major storm that's coming. I don't know if we can show it.
Oh my
Take a look at this. I mean, that's covering the northern part of Texas. It's kind of like that, what they consider the Bible Beltway. It is. And what, Allie, let's just go ahead and say it. What have we seen more of even in Florida when we have state legislation that, against the spraying, engineering, you know, going up and spraying toxic chemicals in our atmosphere. But we learned that even though your state might have legislation that says you're not allowed to spray in the atmosphere, we are only allowed to go up so many feet.
I believe it's 400 or 500 feet above.
And then the federal government
and then
takes
the federal
over.
government, whatever
So
that airspace looks like. I know that we had, I believe it was Lee Zeldin, he had mentioned something about geoengineering being a real thing. It's not a conspiracy. And he's working on trying to get that stopped here in America. But, you know, ever since Florida said that we're not going to do that, the federal government, I guess that agency was just like, screw Florida, we're going to just spray them all day and all night because that's what happens.
And you can tell.
And it's
you
multiple
can see
planes. It's
and
multiple
you can
planes.
see it.
And they're clearly trying to blot out the sun. If you look, that's where most of the I guess the trail curves into. It curves into the sun, and they spray it all day long.
Yep, all day and all night. We've seen it. So they're saying with this storm, there's a rare potential to be the worst in decades since the Great Ice Storm of February 1994. Talking about power outages.
So we can't get us by hurricanes, right? Because we were like, no, we're not doing this, and now we had no hurricanes this last year. So what are we going to have? A cold front? Is there going to be a blizzard in Florida? What is happening? And in Texas?
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Guys, as much as we preach about the SAVE Act, helping to secure our elections, did you know there is a thing called the Scam Act?
Ooh.
I mean, it says here that the GOP Majority Whip Tom Emmer has introduced this bill to revoke the citizenship of anyone who came to this country and committed fraud against the American people. That would consist of some people that are even serving in office should they ever get tried on this. He says the Stop Citizenship Abuse and Misrepresentation Act, Scam Act, will clarify by law what is already clear by common sense, that if anyone who commits fraud against the American taxpayers and affiliates with terrorist organizations or commits aggravated felony or espionage, you lose your naturalization citizenship status.
You are out of here. And I like that. I like it. I think we should all advocate for this to get passed. You're fired. You're out of here. Baseball, whatever you want. I don't care.
Hats off to the GOP majority whip. We appreciate minority whip. Sorry, we appreciate that. Okay, coming up on our closing here, guys, because we're just about out of time. We know what MAGA stands for. Make America Great Again. What the heck does MGGA stand for? MAGA. I don't know. You're gonna have to take a look at this fun AI video. Take a look.
Okay, that's it. I'm making Greenland green again. Where is green? This is white fraud. We need green. Paint it all green. Not too much white. Bad for ratings. Paint it. Strong guy. Voter. Beautiful citizens. Great citizens. The best I've seen. And not Mexicans. Well, this place needs a wall.
Oh my God. What did you say?
Oh my goodness.
I don't know who made that. We'll give credit to Tiffany Savage for sharing it, but it looks like American. Hold on, I want to give him American Bearded Warrior made that. Thank you so much.
I love
Guys,
the memes.
We are having to wrap it up here. Coming to you live from Tallahassee, Florida at our state capitol. Guys, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Follow at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey, and of course at Open Mic Ladies on all platforms. Allie, it's been fun. We got a long day ahead of us.
Don't just talk about it. Go do it. It's your civic duty, your republic to keep. All right, you guys, we love y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Have a great day.